Very good morning, dear students. This video is for class 10th, subject science, chapter number 4, that is carbon and its compounds. And this is lecture number 8. So, in the last lecture, lecture number 7, we have studied about homologous series. Today's topic is nomenclature of carbon compounds. This is a very important topic, and only because we have to do the nomenclature of the organic compounds, we were doing the homologous series, cyclic compounds, saturated and unsaturated compounds, and all these small topics we have done because we have to do the naming of the carbon compounds. So if we are prepared with the basics, it will be easy for us to name a carbon compound. So, let us begin with our topic, nomenclature. Nomenclature means giving name to someone. But here we are not giving name to someone, we are giving name to a carbon compound. So, nomenclature is a system of assigning a proper name to a particular carbon compound on the basis of certain rules. So, in earlier time, all the compounds, they were given some names, some common names, which were taken from the sources of the compounds. But as the number of compounds start increasing, then it created a problem that if we are giving a common name to some compounds and the other compound is having some different properties, then we cannot call it by the common name. We have to give some different name so that it can be identified because of its properties. That is why we are having two types of name, and that is why this was required to give a particular name to the carbon compounds. So, names of the compounds are of two types, trivial names and IUPAC names. Trivial names are the names which were given in earlier times on the basis of the sources, and IUPAC names we'll be talking later. So the trivial names are the commonly used names for carbon compounds. They are derived mostly from the sources of their compounds. And what are IUPAC names? IUPAC, that we call IUPAC names. IUPAC is basically an organization, and it stands for International Union for Pure and Applied Chemistry. So this organization has set up some rules to name an organic compound. So on the basis of these rules, we name a particular organic compound. So organization has given us a systematic, or you can say system of giving proper scientific names to the carbon compounds. And as IUPAC organization is giving the names, or it has given the rules to name a carbon compound, so these names which we will be giving to the carbon compounds are known as IUPAC names. According to IUPAC system, in a name of organic compounds, we have three parts. First is prefix, second is word root, and third is suffix. So these words can tell you that prefix, which comes before, or you can say which comes first. Then suffix, which comes at the end, and word root is the main name, or you can say the main carbon chain. It denotes the main carbon chain. So let us study them differently. Prefix. Prefix, that means that comes at first, and that denotes the presence of substituent group and their position. And it is written in the brackets that it is not the functional group which is attached in the compound. Here we have a list of some substitutional groups, and what is the prefix that which will be used for them. This is also given here, that we have fluoro, chloro, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, nitro group, CH3 that is methyl group, C2H5 that is ethyl group. So all these groups, if they are present in some carbon compound, then they will be named as prefix, and they will be named as fluorine will be named as fluoro, chlorine will be named as chloro, bromine, bromo, iodine, iodo, NO2, nitro, CH3, methyl, C2H5, ethyl. So we have many. So let us see one example. So here we have an organic compound. It is having 4 carbon atoms covalently bonded with a single bond, and you can see here that we have 2 different things except H. Here we have chlorine and here we have OH. So you can identify that this is alcohol functional group, and we have to think about the prefix here. We have to find out the prefix here. CH3 or carbon and hydrogen, they will come under the main branch, or they are the part of the organic compound. But OH is the functional group. Chlorine is the only substitutional group which has come at the place of hydrogen. So this will be our prefix. This will be a prefix, and what we have to name it as chloro. So when we are going to start naming this compound, then at the first we have to find out the prefix, that is chloro here, and along with this I said that this also denotes the position of the substitutional group. That means we have to tell that on which carbon it is attached. So for that we have to do the naming of the carbon chain, and we will start naming the carbon chain in such a way that this substitutional group gets the lowest number. Like if I am naming it as 1, 2, 3, 4, then this Cl group is attached to the second carbon. But suppose I start from here 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now it is coming at the third carbon. So this method of naming the carbon, numbering the carbon atoms is wrong. We have to think of the substitutional group which is present here, that this should get the lowest carbon number. So it will come as 2-chloro. 2 is giving the position of the chlorine group, and chloro is telling that substitutional group is chlorine. Then the second part of the name is word root. Word root is basically the number of carbon atoms present in the longest chain. So we have to see the longest chain which is having maximum number of carbon atoms. That will be the word root, or we can say the parent chain. Parent chain from in which the substitutional and functional groups are attached. So we have seen that carbon chains, either they are carbons in the carbon chain are either singly bonded, or they have a double bond, or they can have the triple bond in between the carbon atom. So if they are having single bonds, all the carbon atoms are having single bond, then they will be called alkanes. If carbon atom is having a double bond in between the chain, then it will be called an alkene. And if it is having a triple bond in between the carbon atom, then it will be called as alkyne. These we have studied under the saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. So singly bonded carbon atoms, alkanes, are the saturated hydrocarbons, and alkene and alkyne are the unsaturated hydrocarbons. And how to name the word roots which will be telling about the alkane and alkyne. So first, as this is the number of carbon atom, so let us start with the If the carbon chain is having one carbon atom, then word root will be named as meth. If it is an alkane, then it will be called a methane. If it is an alkene, then it will be called a methene. Or if it is an alkyne, then it will be called as methine. Second is when carbon number is 2, then it will be called eth. And accordingly, alkane, alkene and alkyne will be named. 3 carbon atoms, prop. 4, bute. 5, pent or penta. 6, hex or hexa. 7, hept or hepta. Heptane we will say. So this is also called septa. Then we have 8 carbon numbers, then it will be called oct or octane. 9, non or nona if it is an alkane then. And if it is having 10 number of carbon atoms, then it is called deca. It can have many number of carbon atoms, but we are studying till 10th. Here we have 2 carbon chains present in front of us, and we have to find out the parent chain in each. So let us see this one. Let us number the carbon atoms first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Although we have to find out the straight chain, but we have to think about the longest carbon chain. So if we take this as 5, then also the carbon chain is of 5 only. And if we take this as 5, then this is also 5 in number. So we can take any one of them. So we will prefer the straight chain. So that is why this chain of carbon numbers having maximum numbers here, although it is similar, but still, suppose we will be having one more carbon here, and it will be given a number as 6. So this will be called a word root, or we can say the parent carbon chain. And as we can see here that carbons are singly bonded, or they are having a single covalent bond in between them. So this will be a alkane chain. And as it is having 6 carbon atoms, so this will be named as hexane. Now let us see the other example. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But in the second part, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this will be the longest chain. So we are not going this way. Now we have to number it as this. And here, as no prefix, or you can say no substitutional group is there, so we can start from here or from there. But if substitutional group is attached somewhere with the carbon atom, then we have to give the lowest number to that. So if we start naming it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 means hepta, and this is an alkane chain, so it will be given as named as heptane. So this is how we find out the parent chain. So this will be the parent chain in this case. The third part of the name is suffix. Suffix that comes at the end, and it denotes the type of bond or the functional group present in the carbon chain. That means this will be taking the functional groups or the types of bonds present in the carbon chain as the name, or you can say it will become the suffix of the nomenclature part. So as it is taking the number of bonds in the carbon chain and the functional group. So the suffix, they are divided into 2 categories: primary suffix and secondary suffix. So primary suffix, it represents the nature of carbon to carbon bond, that which kind of bond is present between the carbon-carbon chain. So there can be 2 types of bonds, saturated and unsaturated carbon compounds. So if it is saturated carbon chain, then it will be singly bonded. The carbon atoms of the chain will be singly bonded, and there will be alkanes as we have done it earlier, and they will be named as ane. So ane will be the suffix for the singly bonded carbon chain. And single bond is the identification of it. Then if the carbon chain or the carbon atoms, they are having double bonds in between then the suffix will be ene, because the word root will be alkene. And if it is an alkyne, which is also unsaturated carbon chain, or carbon atoms are having triple bonds in between them, then it will be alkyne word root, and the suffix will be yne, Y-N-E. Then we have the secondary suffix. It represents the functional group if present. It is possible that there is no functional group in the carbon compound, and if it is there, then it is attached to the primary suffix while we are writing the IUPAC name for an organic compound. So here we have some classes of functional groups. Then we will see in these cases what functional group is there and what is the secondary suffix to be used while naming an organic compound. So we have alcohols. Alcohols functional group is OH, and it will be named as ol. Secondary suffix will be ol. Then we have aldehydes. Aldehydes functional group is CHO, and the name will be dash al, AL. Then we have the class of ketones. So it will be C double bond O, and the secondary suffix used will be -one. For carboxylic acids, we have COOH, and it will be named as secondary suffix as oic acid. That we have amino group. Why I have written here amines? Because amines are the derivatives of amines, and when we are using them as a functional group, then it is called as amino group. It is NH2, and it is named as amine. That will be taken as secondary suffix. Then we have esters, COOR, and the secondary suffix used for this is O8. Now let us see the rules to give the numbering to the carbon atom present in a chain. First, we have to find out the longest carbon chain, that is called parent chain. Then we have to look for the prefix, like if some substitutional group is attached to the chain or not. Then we have to look for the functional group. If functional group is present, then we have to give the priority to the functional group. That means we will start numbering the carbon atoms from the functional group side. And if functional group is not present, then we have to come on the substitutional group. That means we have to start numbering the carbon atoms in such a way that the substitutional group get the lowest numbering. Now let us solve one example. Let us try to give a name to it. So the criteria to give the name to the carbon compound is that first we will write the position of the substitutional group if present. Then we have to write the word root, that means parent chain, and then we have to write the primary suffix if it is there, that is type of bond we have to mention. And type of bond can be mentioned with the help of position of the bond. So we have to take care of the position of the bond. Then we have to put the secondary suffix. Secondary suffix will be the functional groups present here. And accordingly we have to name. I have told you the rules to give the numbering to the carbon atoms. Now let us start with the example that we have been given: CH3, CH, Cl, CH2, CH2, OH. So the first step is we have to look for the parent chain. So here we can see that this chain of carbon atoms is having 4 carbons in it. So the word root is this. Then we have to look for the prefix. So prefix as a substitutional group, we have chlorine here. But before giving the position number to the substitutional group, we have to look for the functional group. Functional group is here, and here we have the OH, that is alcohol functional group. And we have to start giving the numbers to the carbon atom from the side of the functional group present here. If functional group is not here, if we just have a H here, hydrogen here, then we have to start giving the name to the carbon atoms in such a way that chlorine gets the lowest number. But now as we have the alcohol group here, so we will start numbering the carbon atoms from the functional group side. So we will have 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now we have to give the name to the carbon atom, to the carbon compound. So as we have to mention the, now while writing the name of the organic compound, we have to mention the position of the substitutional group first. So the substitutional group is at the third carbon atom. So this will be 3. Substitutional group will be named as chloro. Then we have 4 carbon atoms chain, that is a alkane chain of 4 carbons, and the alkane chain of 4 carbon atoms we have seen that it will be written as bute. Bute, then we have to mention the type of bond. If it is not there, then the position of the functional group we have to mention, that is at the first carbon, and then we have to write the functional group's suffix. Alcohol group is here, so we have to write ol for it. So 3-chloro-bute-1-ol is the IUPAC name for this compound. One thing you have to take care of, that we have, when we have the position or the type of bond as alkane, for which we mention ane or ene or ine. So for these, when we are getting secondary suffix along with them, like ol or al or something else, then we have to take care that when we are joining the primary suffix, that means the ane, ene or ine, or secondary suffix, that will be the suffix for functional groups, then we have to remove one e. Why? Because two vowels, when we are joining two words together, then two vowels cannot exist together. That is why we have to remove the e from the primary suffix or the type of the chain. So it will be named as ane, ol, and e will be removed from here. For example, we have alkane or butane and alcohol group is there. For example, we have bute as the word root, ane as the primary suffix, and ol as the functional group. So what we have to do, butane, we have to remove this e and we have to write it as butanol. So this thing you always keep in your mind, that when you are joining the primary and the secondary suffix together, and if they are having, the primary suffix is having a vowel at the end and the secondary suffix is having a vowel at the starting, then we cannot join two vowels together. So we have to remove the vowel from the primary suffix and then we have to join the alcohol, or you can say the secondary suffix, to the primary suffix. Now let us start giving the name to the aliphatic compounds, because we have a lot of we have a number of homologous series, so we have to learn that how to give the naming to all the kinds of homologous series. But first we are starting naming aliphatic compounds. So aliphatic compounds, we have studied that these are the hydrocarbons which can be in the straight chain, branch chain, or it can be rings, but there is only carbon and hydrogen present in the chain or the compound. So one word is important here, that we have to learn alkyl group. In case of aliphatic compounds, we know that alkane, alkene and alkynes are the three words which denote the saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. But when we remove one hydrogen from the alkane, then it becomes alkyl group. So alkyl group is derived from the alkanes, and here one hydrogen is less. For example, as we have CH4, that is methane. Carbon atom is 1 and this is alkane, methane. But when we remove one hydrogen from it, then it becomes dash CH3. This is called methyl group. Now it has the tendency to get attached with some other carbon atom or some different atom. So the same way we can have ethane. Ethane is alkane and ethyl is alkyl group. Propane, propyl, butane, butyl. Then how we will name as alkanes? The word roots will be the alkanes, alkenes or alkynes only. So alkanes will be given the names according to the number of carbon atoms present in it. So they will be named as methane, ethane, propane, butane or pentane. And we can have more like hexane, heptane, octane, nonane or decane. Deca. Then we have naming of haloalkanes. So alkanes, the carbon chain with a single bond in between the carbon atoms, and halogen group. Halogen group is fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. So all these, when these are used as substitutional groups, then how we name the compound. For example, CH3Cl. So CH3 is the alkyl group and Cl is the substitutional group here. So we have CH3Cl. So CH3 was the methyl, and for chlorine what do we use? Chloride. So the common name for this will be methyl chloride. But how do we name it as according to the rules of IUPAC system? Cl will be named as chloro and CH3 will be named as methane. So its name is chloromethane. Let us take one more example. C3H7Br. If we draw the structure, so we are getting substitutional here. Here we don't have any functional group. So the substitutional group will be given the priority. We will start numbering the carbon atoms from the substitutional group side. So this will be 1, 2 and 3. So at first position, bromine group is there. So 1 bromo, 3 carbon chains with single covalent bonds in between them. So propane is the word root and ane is the primary, prop is the word root and ane is the primary suffix. There is no secondary suffix, so it will be named as 1-bromopropane and its common name is N-propyl-bromine. N-propyl-bromine, because this is the propyl group and here we are attaching bromine, so it will be named as this. So this is normal propyl bromine. Then we have alkenes. While naming the alkenes, first we have to look for the longest carbon chain. Then we have to look the number of carbon atoms, and the parent chain should contain double bonds in it. And we have to name the carbon atoms in such a way that double bond is getting the lowest number, or if it is in such a way that, let us do one example. For example, we have CH3, C, CH3H, CH2, CH, double bond, CH, CH3. So in this we have a substitution. First we have to find the longest chain. So if we are counting as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then it is having carbon in 6 numbers. If we are counting it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then also it is having 6 carbon numbers. So we will prefer the straight chain, and so this is our parent chain. Now we have found out the parent chain, then we have to decide that which kind of chain it is, whether it is alkane or alkyne. So as it is having double bond, the parent chain should always contain the the double bond or the triple bond in it, if it is having. So if we have a double bond in this parent chain, then we have to start giving numbering to the carbon atoms from the double bond side, or you can say from where the double bond gets the lower number. So we have to start giving name to it, numbering to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So while writing the name, first we have to give the position of the substitutional group. Here we have the methyl group as the substitutional group, where it is present at the 5th carbon. Then we have to write the word root. Then we have to put the primary suffix and its position. And at the end we will put the secondary suffix. As it is not having any secondary suffix, so we will not put it. So it will be named as 5-methyl substitutional group. Then we have hex, because it is having 6 numbers of carbon atoms. So word root will be hex. Then we have the position of the double bond. It is 2. Why we are not taking it as 3? Because we have to take the position of the double bond or triple bond from the side of the beginning, from where we are starting. So double bond will get the first number or the lowest number. That is why the second carbon is taken as the position of the primary suffix. So we'll write hex to ene. Ene is the primary suffix, because here this chain is having a double bond, which is alkene group. So 5-methyl hex to ene will be the IUPAC name for this compound. Then we have alkynes. Alkynes are the unsaturated hydrocarbons in which carbon is having triple bonds in between. So if let us have one example and understand what happens in this. We have CH, triple bond C, CH2, CH3. So we have to find out the longest chain first. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbon atoms chain is there which contains the triple bond in it. So we have to start giving the numbers to the carbon atoms from the triple bond side. So we will give the number 1, 2, 3 and 4. There is no substitutional group, so we will start writing with the word root. So 4 carbon atoms are there, so bute. Then we have ine, that is the primary suffix, or that will it's telling the type of bonds present in the carbon atom, and ine is the alkyne chain. That means there is a triple bond, but where it is present, that will be denoted by the position of the triple bond. So it will be taken from the lowest number, so this will be counted as 1 ine. The same is here. If this double bond is present at the second carbon or in between the chain, so you can number it from any side, because this will come to the second position only. 1, 2, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbons, so bute. Where is the triple bond? 2, and it is having a triple bond, so it will take primary suffix as ine. Now let us once summarize the lecture. We have started from the nomenclature of the organic compounds. Nomenclature of the organic compounds, that means the names. This is a system of assigning the names to the organic compounds. Organic compounds, they have 2 types of names: trivial names and IUPAC names. So trivial names are the common names which are given or which were given in the ancient time to the carbon compounds, but as the number of carbon atoms start increasing, carbon compounds increasing, then we have got some systematic rules to give the naming to the carbon compounds, and that there is one organization that has given these set of rules that we have to follow while giving the name to the carbon compound, and this is IUPAC name. So IUPAC, this is International Union for Pure and Applied Chemistry. So this organization has given some rules so that we can give the naming to the carbon compound, and according to the system of IUPAC, we have divided the name of the carbon compound into three parts, which are prefix, word root and suffix. So first we have to look for the word root, that is longest carbon chain, and then we have to look for the prefix that comes first. So there will be some substitutional groups present in the carbon chain. If it is there, then we have to name it according to its position. Then we have suffix. Suffix can be of two types, primary and secondary. So primary suffix tells the type of carbon bonding, that means whether the chain is present as alkane chain or alkene chain or alkyne chain. That means whether carbon atoms are single bonded, or it is having a double bond, or it is having a triple bond if it is an alkyl chain. Then secondary suffix. Secondary suffix tells the functional group present in the compound. And how we have to name them? First we have to look for the functional group. First we have to look for the longest carbon chain, that is parent chain we have to look for. Then we have to look for the functional group. If functional group is present, then we have to start giving the numbers to the carbon atoms from the side of functional group. And if functional group is not there, then second priority is our substitutional group. If functional group is not there, then substitutional group should get the lower number. And then we have to write the word root adding the primary suffix and secondary suffix. Keep in mind that when you are adding primary suffix and secondary suffix, then if two vowels are coming together, like we have alkane or ane, like we have ane or ol. Ol is used for alcohol group suffix. So when we are writing these two together, so one vowel we have here and one vowel we have here. So when we are joining these two together, we cannot join them as it is, because two vowels cannot exist together. That is why we will remove the E and we will join them as anol or alkanol. Then we have seen the naming to the carbon compounds like alkyl groups, alkanes, alkenes and alkynes. In the next lecture, we will do the nomenclature of aldehydes, carboxylic acids, alcohols, ketones, esters and amines. So now let us see today's homework. So the homework for lecture number 8 is, you have to name each compound which are given for in the as part A. CH3CH double bond CH CH3 CH3. Then we have B, CH2 double bond CH2 CH3 CH2 CH3. C, CH3 CH2 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 CH double bond CH CH3 here. Then we have CH3 CH2 double bond CH2 CH3, and at the third carbon we have a methyl group CH3. Here we do not have anything, just C, CH3 double bond CH2 CH3. Then E, CH2 double bond C CH3 CH2 CH2 CH3. F, CH3 C CH3 double bond CH CH2 CH3. G, CH3 C CH3 double bond CH CH2 CH C CH3 H CH3. Question number 2 is, you have to draw the structures for each compound. First is 2-methyl 2-pentane. Second, 2,3-dimethyl 1-butane. C, cyclohexane. D, 5-methyl 1-hexane. 3-ethyl 2-pentane. Or you can write it as 3-ethyl pent 2-E. The way I have told you how to write. or this you can write it as 5-methyl hex 1-ene. Then we have 4-methyl 2-hexene or 4-methyl hex 2-ene. Both are right. So you have to draw the structures for it. So do your homework. We will be continuing our chapter in the lecture number 9 as well. So till then, take care and goodbye.